Hello and welcome. I'm just getting started with loading on Facebook, and great, I think I'm live on Facebook. Perfect. So we're live everywhere and it's going to be absolutely perfect. So today we will be discussing what is a loop in programming. So does anyone know what a loop is, first of all? So when I say a loop and I put it in the context of programming or computer programming or coding, do you know what a loop means? You can write it in the chat. You can let me know. Anyone have an idea? A loop is a circle. So it's a circle. That's one definition of a loop. What about another definition in the context of computer programming? What is a loop? Does anyone know? Give you a couple more seconds. And it's okay if you don't know, because we're going to get started and learn what a loop is. So basically, in programming language, a loop repeats a sequence of functions or instructions. So functions are the instructions that we tell our computer. This can be something like move or bounce or rotate. These are all functions. And we covered functions a little bit prior, and great. Yeah, a loop is when you repeat something. So let's take a look at an example first to see. So this is my coding challenge example. And if you are at home and you want to also code on your own account, I have a link to the student workbook that you can actually remix. I'll put that in the link in the chat here, as well as the chat everywhere, the workbook, and basically it just has the blocks and you can connect them together to form the animation. So if you don't want to do it by yourself, that's fine, we'll do it together. And let's click start to see what the animation is. So did anyone count how many times did the fox bounce? Should I try it again so you can count? Let's see. I'm going to click start. How many times did the fox bounce? Let's try again. Let's 1, 2, 3. Okay, so the fox bounces 3 times. Okay, so how do we actually do that with our code? So let's take a look at our code. And basically when we code, we have all of these blocks. And I'm just right now in the I'm just showing you the story. We're not actually coding anything yet, but I'm going to just show you these are the 3 blocks or 4 blocks that we're doing. And we have a start block, on click block, and a bounce block. And also another image, the object that we're bouncing. So notice that here we have loop and then we have 1 time. We can actually click on this and it'll bring down a drop down that has a whole bunch of stuff. So let's actually go into the student workbook. I'm going to click on remix to remix this story. So this copies the story for you to work on essentially. So let's go to this page. And I'm going to the event graph. And you'll notice now I can click on one and I'll have a drop down. And I can either bounce it forever or I can bounce it up to 60 times. So you can do 50 times. So if I click forever, can someone help me connect the blocks together to make him bounce forever? Who wants to help me? Type in the chat if you want to help me. Okay, let's have, okay, great. So Diego's going to help me out. I'm not controlling anything. And he's going to connect the blocks together. So the purple circle goes to the purple circle. Great. And we need to, what are we bouncing? We're bouncing the fox. And we're missing one connection. Yep, the white triangle, the white triangle. So click on preview and let's take a look. So click on the start button. And it's bouncing forever now. Great. So I'm going to take over my mouse again. And so some people are asking me what the class. Okay, my stream is back, I guess. Okay, great. So our next coding challenge, let's take a look at our coding challenges. We have 3. And after we finish these 3 coding challenges, then we're going to just code our own animations for, let's say, like a spooky Halloween sort of story. How does that sound? So let's do challenge number 1. And I'm going to click on the start button. And what I want you to do is I want you to write down the instructions for the animation. So when the animation plays, try to deconstruct the animation into smaller steps. And then once we write it down, then we'll see if we can code it. So let's play. Okay, so yeah, write it down on a piece of paper, and then afterwards you could write it in the chat, or you could just directly write it in the chat. But first, try to think what is happening in this animation. So what's happening? What's happening first? What's happening second? Okay, what's the sequence of the functions? So let me press play again, and I'm going to press start. Do you want me to play it again? One more time. I'm going to press start. Okay. So first question is, does this ghost loop or repeat the animation? Yes or no? Yep, so this ghost is repeating the animation, and what animation is happening? Yeah, what's happening first? So first, the ghost does what? The ghost first moves. In which direction does the ghost move? It moves to the right, then it moves to the left. Okay, so let's take a look. It moves to the right, it moves to the left, moves to the right, moves to the left. It moves lots of times, yes. It doesn't just move though, it does one more thing. What happens to this ghost? So it moves, and also what happens? Does the image stay the same? Yeah, it turns. So it flips direction and it turns. So let's actually try coding it. And I'm going to actually have to end the stream because for some reason my stream became unavailable. Okay. Very strange. Anyway, I'm going to click start coding so you can take a look at it. And then we'll go to the loop to our student workbook and someone can help me code. Didn't you help me code last time? Maybe someone else should help me code.